All right, so welcome to another deep dive, you guys.
Excited to be here.
Today we're going down the rabbit hole, as they say.
Sounds fun.
We're going to be exploring some strange and mysterious videos out there on the net.
The internet's full of those.
It is, it is.
So which ones are we looking at?
Well, we've got this audio file titled Five Strangest and Most Mysterious Videos on the Internet.mp3. And I mean, you know,
Catchy.
yeah, it is catchy, but it's also kind of true when you think about it.
Oh, for sure.
Just the sheer amount of content that's uploaded every single day.
Oh, yeah, you could spend a lifetime.
I know, and these are the ones that bubble to the top, so that's got to say something.
Definitely, it really speaks to that whole power of mystery.
Right.
Out of all those videos, billions of hours probably, these are the ones that stick out.
Ones that really just grab you.
Yeah, make you think, what if?
Exactly, exactly.
So where do we start?
Well, let's go to China.
Okay.
Back in 2015, Foon, China. So picture this, you're just going about your day, and suddenly you look up and there it is.
What is it?
A city floating in the clouds.
Whoa, wait, like a whole city?
Yeah, buildings, skyscrapers, the whole works, just hanging out up there.
No way.
I know it sounds crazy, right?
It does sound pretty wild.
But there's video footage, and people freaked out, of course.
I bet they did. I mean, what did they think it was?
It ran the gamut. Some people were just astonished, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, what am I looking at?
Makes sense.
But some people, they went a little further.
Like what? Aliens?
Well, some folks thought it was like a parallel universe.
Oh.
You know, a glimpse into another dimension.
That's kind of cool.
And then there were those who thought, maybe this is it.
This is it? What do you mean?
The big one,
Yeah.
the second coming, a sign from above, maybe even heaven itself.
Wow. Talk about interpretations.
Right. And of course, the internet being the internet.
It blew up.
Oh, yeah. Speculation ran wild.
But is there an explanation? Like a real one?
Well, the most likely explanation is something called a fata morgana.
Oh, what?
Fata morgana. It's a type of mirage.
Oh, a mirage like in the desert.
Kinda, but not exactly.
Yeah.
It's an optical illusion caused by specific atmospheric conditions.
So the city wasn't really there?
It was probably a real city, but because of the way the light was bending through these layers of air at different temperatures.
It looked like it was floating.
Exactly. It's like a trick your eyes are playing on you.
That's so bizarre.
I know, but science can be pretty weird.
That's true. That's true.
But here's the thing. Even with this perfectly reasonable explanation.
People still went with the crazier theories.
Some did, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there's something about the unknown, right?
Oh, totally. I think it's human nature.
It makes you wonder how much of what we believe is shaped by what we want to believe.
Oh, for sure.
It's like we see what we want to see sometimes.
I can definitely relate to that.
So speaking of things that make you wonder, let's move on to our next video.
Okay, what is it?
This one is, let's just say it's unique. We call it the Smiling Man.
Okay, smiling man, that's not creepy at all.
Oh, you just wait.
All right, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
This guy, Benjamin Bennett, he dedicated years of his life to this project, and to this day, no one knows why he did it.
That's a little ominous. What did he do?
He uploaded hundreds of videos to YouTube.
Okay, what kind of videos?
Well, each one is 4 hours long, no talking, no music, nothing.
Just 4 hours of what?
Him sitting in a chair, smiling.
Smiling, like the whole time?
The whole time, just this constant, unwavering grin.
That is kind of creepy now that you mention it.
I told you.
What was he trying to do?
That's the million-dollar question.
Was he like trying to make people uncomfortable?
Maybe. I mean, there's a story about how someone broke into his apartment while he was filming.
Oh no. Did they hurt him?
No, he didn't even react.
He just kept smiling.
Yeah, just sat there smiling like nothing was happening.
Whoa, that's commitment.
Talk about staying in character, right?
Seriously, but what was the point? It had to be some kind of statement, right?
The social experiment? Art? Who knows?
I mean, the fact that he never explained it just makes it even more mysterious.
Exactly. And it forces us to ask, what is the nature of performance?
Deep thoughts for a guy who just smiles for 4 hours.
I know, right?
So is it about sending a message or just getting a reaction?
Or maybe it's something else entirely, something we haven't even considered.
This is why I love these deep dives.
Me too. Always keeps you guessing. It really is fascinating how much a simple smile can unsettle you, right?
Yeah, totally. But speaking of unsettling.
Oh yeah, this next one.
Get ready.
This next one is a whole different level of creepy.
Lay it on me.
This is what's known as the Plague Doctor video.
Plague Doctor? Oh, that sounds pleasant.
Not really.
So what's the story with this one?
Well, it starts back in 2015.
Okay.
Someone uploaded this video to YouTube.
All right.
But the title and description: binary code,
Oh, that's already a bad sign.
Right. And people deciphered it, and it translates to death, and you got 1 year less.
You got 1 year less. What does that even mean?
No one really knows.
Okay, so creepy title, creepy message. What about the actual video?
Well, imagine this. Okay.
Okay.
A figure wearing a plague doctor mask.
Oh, I hate those things.
Right. Creepy, right. And they're moving through this abandoned building, and the whole thing is just shot in this really eerie way.
Like found footage style.
Yeah, exactly.
I get chills just thinking about it.
And it gets worse. There are all these hidden messages and codes scattered throughout the video.
Like what kind of codes?
Different kinds. Some are visual, some are audio. It's like they really wanted to mess with whoever was watching.
It's giving me ARG vibes.
Alternate reality game.
Yeah, like those online puzzles that bleed into the real world.
Could be.
But what makes it even creepier is that this wasn't just something random that someone found online.
You're talking about the blogger.
Yeah, they got a DVD in the mail with this video on it.
Someone physically sent it to them.
Yeah, and imagine getting that in the mail. Like, who would do that?
Exactly. And why? What was the point of all this?
Right. It's like, what were they trying to achieve?
Well, the internet being the internet, a lot of people tried to figure that out.
And did they get anywhere?
Oh, yeah. All sorts of stuff came out.
Like what?
So they found these things called audio spectrograms hidden in the video.
Okay.
And when you visualize them, they reveal all this disturbing imagery.
Oh, so even more creepy stuff hidden within the creepy stuff.
Exactly. And then they found more binary code messages.
With more threats.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But this time, some of them said things like, "You are already dead."
So they're playing with the idea of death a lot.
It's a recurring theme, for sure.
Which makes sense. I mean, plague doctors, death, it all kind of goes together.
Right, but then they found coordinates.
Coordinates.
To where?
White House?
The White House.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, and there was even what some people thought was Morse code, and they said it was referencing killing the president.
Whoa, okay, now this is getting really unsettling.
Right. It starts to feel less like a joke and more like a potential threat.
Yeah, like, is this art or is this something more serious?
That's the question, isn't it? And then to make things even more confusing, a guy came forward claiming to be the creator.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a guy named Parker Warner Ride. He said it was all just part of an art project.
Huh, so just a very elaborate and disturbing art project.
That's what he said. But there were some problems with his story.
Like what?
Well, for one, he couldn't remember the password to the original YouTube channel where he supposedly uploaded the video.
So maybe it wasn't really him.
Could be. And his explanation for sending the DVD to the blogger just didn't add up either.
It sounds like he was trying a little too hard to be mysterious.
Maybe, or maybe he was telling the truth and just not very good at remembering details.
I mean, I guess it's possible.
So where does that leave us? We've got a creepy video filled with cryptic messages, a guy who might be the creator but might not be, and a whole lot of unanswered questions.
Classic internet mystery.
It really is. And it highlights how easily things can spiral out of control online.
Especially when you throw in anonymity and ambiguity.
Exactly. People start filling in the gaps with their own theories and interpretations.
Yeah.
And pretty soon you've got a whole mythology built up around something that might just be a hoax.
Yeah, it's like a collaborative storytelling project almost.
But sometimes those stories can take on a life of their own.
And that's when things get really interesting.
Speaking of interesting, let's move on to a video with even less information, but a whole lot of creep factor.
Less information, more creepy. All right, I'm intrigued. What is it called?
This one is known as the creepy witch footage.
Creepy witch footage, straight to the point.
That's what we like.
So what's so creepy about it?
So it's short on context, but long on weirdness. It was filmed near the Saudi Arabian border.
Okay, already sounds a little ominous.
And it basically shows this dark figure in the distance doing something, well, strange.
Strange how?
It's hard to describe. It's like they're contorting their body in these unnatural ways. And the guy filming is clearly freaked out. He starts driving off-road to get away from whatever it is.
So we don't know what it's doing, but we know it's creepy, and it scared the guy filming it.
Exactly. And that's part of what makes it so effective. It's like our brains are wired to fear the unknown.
Totally, like our imaginations run wild trying to fill in the blanks.
And then you factor in the location, near the Saudi Arabian border.
Where beliefs in sorcery and witchcraft are pretty common.
Exactly. So suddenly you've got this whole other layer of creepiness added to the mix.
Like, is it just some random person messing around, or is it something more supernatural?
Who knows? But the fact that the police supposedly searched the area and found nothing just adds to the mystery.
Nothing. No trace of the figure, no explanation. Just poof, gone.
As far as we know. Yeah.
That's wild.
It is. Makes you wonder what really happened out there.
Makes you think.
Okay, ready for a change of pace?
Sure, hit me with it.
This one takes us to the Horton Mine in Nevada.
A mine? What's so mysterious about a mine?
Well, this is where we meet Frank. He's a mine explorer.
Like he goes spelunking in old mines.
Pretty much. He just loves exploring abandoned mines. He's not a ghost hunter or anything like that.
So no paranormal expectations going in?
Nope, he was just there to explore.
Right.
But right away, he started feeling like something was off.
Okay, how?
He noticed cold spots.
Cold spots, those are always creepy.
I know, right? And then he saw this chain in one of the tunnels.
What about the chain?
It was swinging, but like unnaturally.
Like someone was swinging it.
But there was no one there.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely creepy.
Frank thought so too. He actually turned back during his first exploration.
He was that spooked.
Yeah, he said the whole vibe down there was just really unsettling.
So he left and never went back?
Not quite.
Oh.
He went back the following year.
He went back? Why would he do that?
I guess the mystery was just too much for him to resist.
I can relate to that. Some things you just gotta know.
Exactly. And on this second trip, things got even weirder.
Weirder than a swinging chain.
Oh, yeah. He was deeper in the mine this time, and suddenly he was hit with this blast of cold air.
Like out of nowhere.
Yeah, totally unexpected. And then he started hearing sounds.
Sounds? Like what kind of sounds?
He described it as like radio static mixed with voices.
Voices, like people talking?
It's hard to say. It was all very distorted and muffled.
That is super creepy.
And there was no explanation for it, no machinery running, no other people in the mine, just these strange sounds coming from seemingly nowhere.
Did he record it?
He did. We actually have a clip of it. It's almost as if the mine itself was trying to reach out to him.
Yeah, or maybe trying to warn him.
Ooh, that's a good point.
It really makes you think about what could be lurking in those dark, forgotten places.
Places where maybe some things are better left undisturbed.
Right. It's like we're not meant to go there.
But that curiosity, that drive to explore, it's hard to resist.
Oh, definitely a good it. So
It's-
are we going to hear this recording?
Yeah, let's go listen, see what you make of it.
Okay. Audio Yuli clip plays.
So what do you think? Pretty eerie, right?
Yeah, no kidding. That's some unsettling stuff.
Almost sounds like voices trying to break through.
It does, doesn't it? Like they're trapped or something.
And Frank, as far as we know, never figured out what caused those sounds.
That's the thing with these mysteries. Sometimes there are no answers.
Which can be frustrating, but also kind of exciting.
I know, right? It leaves room for our imaginations to run wild.
It reminds us that there's still so much we don't know about the world, even in this day and age.
Right. Like we think we've got it all figured out, but then something like this comes along and just throws everything we thought we knew out the window.
From floating cities and smiling men to creepy figures and unsettling sounds, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we?
We have. It's amazing how much weird stuff is out there just waiting to be discovered.
And these are just a handful of examples, a tiny glimpse into the vast and strange world of the internet.
And the world in general, I'd say, I mean, these mysteries aren't confined to the internet.
True enough, they're all around us if we know where to look.
The key is to keep an open mind, to be willing to question what we think we know.
Because sometimes the most incredible discoveries come from the most unexpected places.
And sometimes the best mysteries are the ones that remain unsolved.
That's a good point. Sometimes it's better to leave things to the imagination.
Exactly. Let the mystery live on.
Well said. Well said. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Hit me with it.
What unexplained events have you encountered?
Oh, that's a good one.
What makes a mystery truly captivating for you?
Something to ponder, for sure.
We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so feel free to share them with us. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and remember, the world is a strange and wonderful place full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered.